Hi guys. So see there are 20 of you today. Well, waiting for the others to be here. So you can start to post your questions so that I'll be able to answer one by one, okay? Okay, as usual, Siti Nur Safina, right? You always be the first one. Thank you so much. Nursa Zwani, you are here. Okay. Elisa, okay. Sharon Nizam, Rudy, Filza, you already, okay, Yasmin, Sophia, I can see, hello, Anis, Arini, Uzi, hi, Fikri Izan, okay, hi, hello, Shafiq, Oliver, hello, Muhammad Salihin Lamjin, hello, hi, okay, hi, hello, Muhammad Rizam Shah, Rizki, Judy, Judy is Johari, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Uzi, your internet got problem? It's okay if your internet got problem. You just post questions. So if you cannot see my answers today, maybe later on at night time, you can go back and see the replay of this live. Yeah. Shazwani, hello, hi. Ko Adam Haris, hi. Khairul Shazwan, you just woke up, is it? Arif Fikri, hello, hi. Khairul Hamizan Kuzair is already here. Okay, good. So I hope you have watched my chapter 6 YouTube video on the new product development. So there are two things in that particular chapter, which is the first one, the process of creating a new product, and also the second part is the product life cycle. So the graph, usually I will ask you to practice to draw the graph, the life cycle graph, okay, with the sales and also the profit curves, so that you'll be able to do for your final exam. But since now you don't have final exam, you just need to know the what they call it, what happened during each stage of the product life cycle. Yeah. Alicia, Annabelle, hello, hi. Darren, drop high. What is drop high? Izzuddin, hello. Ahmad Hanif Rizwan, yes, hello. Ada Winnie Fact pula tudung I ni. Okay, just leave it there. Yes, Nurmaya Shafika, hello. All right, so can you start to post your questions so that I'll be able to explain to you and will not take up so much time. I know you all are going to be very busy later to sleep or to help your parents doing some house chores. Yes, Amiraton, hello, hi, Darlene, yes, Russell, Chelsea, Siti Nur Rafika, Rudy. What is WK, WK, WK? Come on, guys. Do you have any questions related to your chapter 6? If you don't have questions, then I'll be asking you questions. Would that be okay? Okay, so WK is laughing. I thought LOL is laughing. All right, never mind. So we ketawa, is it, McLaren? Fine. Okay, there's a question from Amiratun Adlina. For external sources, means that they will ask opinion from other, is it? Okay, the external sources of the information or ideas could be not just by asking opinion of others, but just by observation as well. Okay, so as you know, the external environment, like external sources of the ideas could be generated when the company see the problems in the customer, or perhaps customer give feedbacks or complaint to your company or to your hotline. Sometimes you have your feedback online channel that customer can actually tell what problems they are having or some complaints. So from there you are able to get ideas on how to make your product better, right? Or from your competitors, you don't go ask competitors. So what you can do is actually a very popular method is by doing this what they call reverse engineering. Okay, reverse engineering is in a way that you see your competitors has a new product. So what do? You buy their product. So when you buy that particular product, you start to reverse engineer, meaning to say you start to open up what is inside that particular product and then try to make your product like them, but much more better. Okay, so that is the idea that you can get. It's not really like copying your competitors, but this is actually an idea generation which you get from your competitors by making your product better than them, right? Or from the distributors, suppliers, they could give some feedbacks. Oh yes, you can ask them, but most of the time is when they actually give you the feedbacks. All right. Next question. Yasmin, Miss, can you explain the product life cycle graph? Wait, yeah, Miratun, like making a survey. Yes, making a survey could be also source of information or the idea generation where you ask your perhaps your suppliers, your distributors, or even your customers, yeah, to actually fill in some information or survey on asking how can you actually improvise your product, or by asking them what else problems that they're actually having, so that you'll be able to fulfill or solve their particular problems. Okay. The product life cycle just now, yeah, Yasmin. Okay. Can you be more specific on which part of the product life cycle graph that you want me to explain, or is it just generally? So generally, because you asked me generally, so I answer generally as well. Yeah, generally you have two curves in this particular product life cycle, which is the sales curve and also the profit curve. In the slides, you can see that the sales curve will be in the green color, while the profit curve is in red color. So sales are always more than the profits, yeah, because in order for you to calculate profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. Right. So in this particular product life cycle, we're not going to show the cost curve, right? Later on, it will be more advanced level of the product life cycle. But for your level, you just know the sales and also the profit curve. So sales will always be more than the profit curve, all right? And sales actually shows at which stage of the product is in the product life cycle. Okay, so if you can see it's a slow movement of going up, then that means that sales is actually that particular product is in the introduction stage. While if let's say the sales is going up tremendously or going up very fast or quickly, or rapid change, yeah, in the sales movement going up very fast, so you can say that that particular product now become are located or is in the growth stage. Okay, so that's in the maturity and also the decline. So decline is very easy. As you see, the curve is started to go down. That means that particular product is in the decline stage. Yeah. Next question. New to the firm and addition to existing product line. Okay, so Shafiq, you want to know about the types of new products, right? So when you talk about the types of new product, if that particular product is new to the firm, okay, it is something that they first time created. They never create that particular product before. So that is actually a new product to the firm. Like when Apple first started to produce their iWatch, okay, from the example that I gave to you, when they start to produce their first watch. So that is actually, watch is actually an ordinary or not a really new product. But when Apple first time create that particular product in their company, so that is called the firm new product to the firm. While when you talk about addition to existing product lines, as addition to existing product lines, meaning to say they add up some more new products from the line that they already have previously. So it's basically like the can be Apple as well. So when Apple produce their let's say iPhones, right? So iPhone. 10. Then they have the iPhone 11. Okay, but of course this could be some improvement also from the previous product that they made. But let's say when you talk about the product that is not really an improvement from the existing ones, the one that I gave to you in the slides example is Maggi. Okay, so Maggi, perhaps when they have this addition to existing product line, Maggi they already have instant noodles, yeah, that instant noodle line. So instant noodle they have curry flavor, chicken, they have tom yum, and then they also have what other flavors? I think you know better than me. All right. So addition to the existing product line, when they start to create or they add on new flavors to their Maggi line, instant noodle lines. For example, I think they have this Korean spicy instant noodle, all right, that flavor. So that is actually an addition to the existing product line. Okay. Another example that I gave to you in the slide was the Maggi oat mee. Okay, oat mee is a new product that is an addition to the current noodles that they have. Okay, do you got it, Shafiq? Amiratun, explain more about market rollout. Okay, now market rollout is about when you commercialize your product, yeah? When you commercialize your product, meaning to say you launch it. Now, if you ever saw or watch how iPhone are being launched, yeah, every year when Tim Crew, right, the CEO, he launched that particular new iPhone where in that particular launching ceremony, okay, he will actually tell that there are some products that are pre-ordered. Okay, normally they will say, okay, iPhone 11 Pro Max will be available starting from, let's say, September 30th. Okay, September 30th, and it will be available in United States. Okay, while later on, perhaps 2 weeks later, let's say in October 20th or October 15th, okay, the iPhone can be available in the European countries, okay, and then it will be later on in the other countries or the Asian countries, all right. So that is when they plan the market rollout in the way that when they produce things, right, it will be in batches, okay. So that's why you can see that some products there are made for the United States citizens, okay, only in US. So this product is only and designated specifically for the US citizens, okay, or consumers, okay. While the other batches, perhaps it is according to some elements that they need to modify or they customize based on the country itself, okay. So perhaps iPhone in the Saudi Arabia with supports of these Arabic languages, okay. So when they set that particular phone, they launch it to these countries, the Arab Saudi countries. So the phone is ready to be used in their language. Okay, unlike in US, for example, there's no need for them to preset the language of Arabic inside in the phone to be marketed in US. So that market rollout is actually basically when you produce things in by batch and you plan when that particular batch will reach the target consumers. All right. Next question. Explain about promotion and manufacturing cost gain economies of scale. Okay, that's a good question. I was thinking of whether you actually know or not about economies of scale. Now, when you talk about economy of scale, this is when company are able to produce the product at its best quantity to reach the economy of scale. That means the production could be in large quantity, but although it's in large quantity, cost per unit will be at its minimum. Okay, because sometimes when you produce product in a very small quantity, it will be very expensive. So that's why most companies they produce product in bulk or in large quantity so that cost per unit will be minimized. So when you reach these economies of scale, right, that means you are actually trying or getting to be in the what they call it, a situation whereby it's at best rate of production. Okay, when you produce, so you start to get the best rate whereby each products can be reduced or cost of producing the product can be reduced, right? So that is when you achieve the economies of scale. Promotion also could also gain economies of scale because at the early stage or the introduction stage, you'll be doing a lot of promotion. So when you do promotion, it's going to be very expensive. So you incur a lot of advertising costs, okay, publicity costs, or you need to inform everybody about your new product. So it incur a lot of costs. But as you do that promotion, but not many products are sold. So that means promotion cost is very high, but sales are still very low. Okay, at the lower stage. But when you enter the growth stage, as you do the promotion cost perhaps is here. So as you do as the product go to the growth stage, right? So the sales are going up. So that is when the cost of production cost of promotion can be lowered down or has achieved its economies of scale when the sales are going up. Right? So that is when you talk about the economies of scale. Okay, Marathon. Next, Normaya Shafira. Explain more about standard, control, and stimulator. I thought I asked you to do that. Okay, what is standard test market, control test market, and simulated test market? Did you find out what are those? If you can't find out, then later I'll go back to that question, yeah? Next, can you explain more about test marketing? Test marketing is basically you have the product already, okay? You have the product. So what you do is actually try to get people in a real context, yeah, to actually try whether they wanted to buy the product or not. So that is basically test marketing. You don't actually launch it in large scale, or you have not declared the product has been launched yet. You just say to this particular, perhaps you choose certain location to be your test market, right? And then you try and ask them whether they wanted to buy the product or not by offering the product to them and see whether they actually want to buy or not. That is test marketing. No, Shazwani. Product life cycles curve depends on the strategy like style, fashion, and trend. Because for style strategy and the decline stage seem to be temporary. Yes, correct. So nobody can tell how long, okay, the duration for each product in each stage, yeah. So you cannot tell, okay, introduction we must be in 3 months, and then growth must be in 1 year, maturity is in 5 years, and decline in 2 years. No, you cannot tell that. Nobody can control that because it is all depending on the demand of the product itself. Okay, so the strategy, yes, it could be sometimes if a fashion or trend, right? Yes, it is purposely made to be only known for a short period of time. Okay, but if a product like electronic products or other types of product like food, for example, you don't want it to be like this fashion or trend. For example, the boba drinks, yeah, you know the boba, right? The bubble tea, right? So over the past like 1 year or 2 years, yeah, from last year and also this year, especially last year, the growth of this bubble tea is very fast, yeah, in Malaysia. Actually, that bubble tea has been in Malaysia for a very long time, even when I was still in diploma level, you know, when I was still very, very young, although now I'm still young as well. But that time we already have bubble tea, although we don't call it the boba, simfutang, and whatsoever. So that particular bubble tea is not really been, what they call it, commercialized in that manner. Okay, last time when I want to buy that bubble tea, I can only go to kiosk. There's one kiosk in Wisma Hopoh last time, right? So there was that kiosk, so I can buy it there. And then they start to open up one kiosk in Desa Ilmu near Warung 2000 there, if you know that Warung 2000, yeah. So it was there last time on that particular kiosk. So that's about the bubble tea. Then suddenly, okay, like perhaps like 10 years later, like last year, then the trend of that bubble tea started to be very, very popular, right? So it shows that bubble tea's introduction stage was very, very long. Okay, then only after perhaps 10 years, it starts to go up like now. Okay, then everybody, you can see even Secret Recipe also now offer bubble tea, right? Many restaurants started to add this new cold drink, okay, which is the bubble tea in their menu, right? Next question. Muhammad Ali from Z, hello, yes, hi, you just joined, is it? All right, good. American Clear, Shafiq, in product development, what do you mean by creating prototype? Do the product already can be used yet? Okay, in the product development process, this is the fourth, fifth stage, is it? Product development. Okay, in this product development, yes, that's correct. That means in the product development stage, you only at this stage you started to create the product. Yeah, previous stages it is just a concept. Okay, it was just a concept. I mean, because in order for you to create or do this development of the product, you will require the whole resources, yeah, including the raw materials, the technology, the expertise, and so on. So before you start to acquire all those resources, you need to do a lot of analysis. So that's why you have the business analysis first, and then you have the marketing analysis, and so on. Then only when everything looks promising and looks very good, then you can actually start to produce the product. That is when you start to create the prototype of the product. So the prototype products could be the one that is ready to use, but not yet for commercialization. That means in this product development stage, you do trial and error. Okay, if you are producing a car, for example, at this product development stage is when you already have the car, but then it is only being used for testing. So you start to do a lot of trial and error testing of that particular car, whether it actually can work, whether it actually can retain some avoid accidents. Okay, because now, as you know, Ford, for example, they are in the making of this product, the car that is pilot car, is it? No, non-pilot car, something that you don't need a driver to drive that particular car. So they are in the process of testing that particular car, whether it actually can work or not in the natural context of the road system. Yeah, so it requires a lot of effort, a lot of trial and error during the product development stage. Okay, no, Shazwani? No, Shafiq, you asked me that question, right? Okay. Amiratun, what's the difference between harvest and drop the product? Okay. Harvesting the product is basically just trying to, what they call it, sell whatever you have and make use of whatever that you have now to the end. All right. Dropping the product is totally stop. Meaning to say, although you have some of the raw materials, like when you do harvesting, you know the product is already at the decline stage. But then what happens is that you do not stop producing immediately because you still have your raw materials, you still have a lot of machineries that are being used designated just for that particular product. So harvesting meaning to say you are trying to drop it, but slowly. Unlike dropping the product, meaning you stop producing it. So whatever raw materials that you have to produce that product, perhaps you'll be using it for other products now. Okay, so that's the difference between harvesting and dropping the product. Yes, Journaline, you like the boba? You can order, yeah. If you use live, you can get 40% off for the boba using code DABOBA40. So Shafiq, bubble tea in Secret Recipe calls new to the firm product. Because Secret Recipe has already offered drinks. Okay, so drinks is their line. So bubble tea is an addition to that existing product line. Okay, so you call it not new to the firm, but new addition to the existing product line. You call that. Okay. Yes, Sharon is correct. Autopilot for that car. Yeah, Ford is actually, I think Ford 2 years ago, they were still in this particular product development stage. and still they are trying to test, yeah, and we can't see yet the real car that are autopilot. Okay, good. Scale. Now, Nurmaya Shafira, did you get what is product standard test marketing control and also simulated test marketing? Now, basically, of course, like again, if I ask you question, I'm the one who always answer the question. Now, when you talk about standard test marketing, this is when you choose one particular store, for example, and then you put that particular product there, and then you see whether people buy or not that particular product. So that is a standard one that is always been done. Now, a control task marketing is when you already tell the task market or the potential customers about your product. Okay, so you explain to that particular customers or people that come to that particular store, and then what they do is that, what you do is that you tell them we have this particular new product, and then you can actually try, and then you can actually buy if you want. Okay, it's in that particular shelf, for example. So that is actually a control product. And then at the end of the trip of that particular customer, you see whether they actually purchase the product or not. That is when that particular experience when customer go to the shop are being observed. Okay, so that is a control test marketing. And then from there, you can actually ask again, why you don't buy the product?